We got flavor for you, ladies and gentlemen. What a day it's been in the charts, man. If you tuned into the New York live stream today, we saw that nice move towards the VWAP. Missed it ever so slightly, and those orders down at 29K. Swipe! Took the 29, bounced away from that zone. The marketplace is somewhat treacherous, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you got to be fast in, fast out. Take whatever money you can and pay yourselves accordingly. We'll be talking about Bitcoin's price action very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. But the topic that we're going to be discussing today is this housing situation is a bit of a cause for concern. Calls for the idea that the housing market is on its way to collapse is pretty much going to bring everything down. So I'm going to enlighten you all with relation to that story. More importantly, there is 1 in a 2,457 chance of you being hit by something, and I'm going to include it in this video, in this live stream very shortly. I think those are good odds of you getting hit by this one thing that is heading to Earth right now at any minute, 16 hours apparently. So yeah, we'll be talking about that. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get with the flavor, man. I want to get to these charts because Bitcoin taking a tumble, but more importantly, Tesla. Check this out. All right, then. So, Bitcoin. But we're going to get into that very shortly. So, I want to just draw your attention to what's been going on in the news so that we can come back to Bitcoin and understand where we are likely to expect it to end up. All right? So, the first thing that I want to draw your attention to is the fact that we have got these banks and they've just come out of what would appear to be a banking crisis. Well, Credit Suisse ain't taking no prisoners. It's currently trying to sue SoftBank for $440 million. So, banks were helping each other. Now they need to try and gather as much liquidity as they can because things ain't looking good. Credit Suisse is holding on to dear life and going for SoftBank in a bank in the UK. $440 million, all right? Wealthy individuals are saying that they've missed out on certain opportunities, and this bank right here is going to have to pay the price for it. That's not looking good if banks start turning against each other. So we want to be keeping a close eye out on this story, because if it doesn't look good for Credit Suisse, that's just going to send Credit Suisse's stock price even further than, well, I ain't even going to get into that story, all right? This has caught my attention. Hong Kong court recognizes cryptocurrency as a property. That only means that you can now put crypto in a trust. What else can you put in a trust? You can put stocks, shares, okay? Well, what are stocks and shares? Regulated assets. So could this be paving the way for it, ladies and gentlemen? All right? What is it? Is it a security? Is it an asset? What is it? Hong Kong's probably stepping up the pace, forward thinking. And you can put now crypto into a trust. That's good news. But it's how the US is going to regulate crypto. And they haven't had really a good time with good old Gary messing things up in that. Oh, wow. That was a story. But I want to just share something with you, okay? Might affect the guys in the UK. Russian hackers are trying to disrupt or destroy UK infrastructure. Now, I received a letter to my premises saying to me that on the 28th of April, there's going to be no electricity in my area for several hours. So we know intelligence agencies do have the heads up on certain stories. Whether they act on it is a different story. But in this article, they're going on to talk about that all these utility companies are being alerted about this. Whether it happens or not, it's a different story. But funnily enough, I've been notified that I'm losing my electricity on the 28th of April for several hours. So I've got to start working things out. Well, the time that they're going to do it, it's not going to affect me. I just got to turn up everything on the freezer and the fridge and happy days. Moving on from that, what the main topic is before we start getting into price action, ladies and gentlemen. Home prices see largest decline since 2012 as banking crisis demand, okay, hits demand. There's this fear that everything will crash. All right, so it's not going to crash tonight. It's not going to crash tomorrow. It might not even crash. But we've got this problem. Mortgage lenders are nearly getting to the idea that they could be defaulting This is a problem. People can't service these high interest rate mortgages. Only yesterday we had the billionaire investor suggesting that there's going to be a few corporate mortgage providers that are not going to see happy days. And we've already seen that story happening already. Just look what's going on with Tesla. 20%. Oh my days. That is horrible. 20% drop on its earnings per share to around 73 cents per share when there were estimates for about 83, 85. Okay. What does that mean for Bitcoin? What does that mean for the marketplace? Because if it's too expensive to pick up a house, all right, mortgage rates ain't at all appealing to people, what's that going to end up doing? I'm putting this as not a guy who's like perma bear. We're just trying to translate the information as to what's actually going on via the macros. And we correlate that to price. We can kind of see what's going on here. Again, the S&P today, guys, treacherous behavior, up and down. Now, Tesla, gap down. Tesla's current price point is around the 174, okay? And this is out of hours. This blue line right here, 174, okay? That only means one thing. S&P futures, when they open very shortly, and NASDAQ, most likely going to be gapping down because Tesla's going to pull down the marketplace. It's got a fat market cap, okay? And that's going to put pressure on the market, which is now where we're going to go and look at Bitcoin price action to make sense of that. The majority of the day, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin has been stalling inside of this zone, okay? In the New York live stream earlier on today, we were waiting for this VWAP to be tested, okay? You could see the liquidity right there at 29,360. Now, remember, we wanted to see 29,560 because that's where we saw the liquidation points for the shorts, but the shorts kind of saw a little bit of success today. The VWAP all the way up top side right there at 29,560, right there, as you can see, all right? Then we had this liquidity at 29,000 where there was about 839 Bitcoin orders. So Bitcoin does what? Does the stop run to the upside? Because we were talking about the smaller time frames to understand the flavor of price around the cloud. Part and parcel of the hybrid system strategy. Go to the 1 minute time frame and you can see bright as day. We were waiting for Bitcoin to pull that flavor. And I said to you all, be careful of this nasty green vector candle right here. Okay? They come down and hit that point and reversed. This is a crucial thing. When you're trading the hybrid system, and you can see vectors in a certain area. So look at this vector candle right here, all right? That's where they moved from. So we know that the market maker started to make a run up for price, okay? How far he goes is irrelevant. We just know that at that point right there, that's where price was moving from, okay? We go over to the chart and you can see that's the same spot they moved from at this point. After they recovered the vector, they reversed back up again and fully recovered the red vector candle. They left the clover blue vector again, came back down to it, bounced away from that zone. This is what you would call the V-shaped plays, all right? These are V-shaped plays, all right? Did it again. Spike that zone, come back up. So something's brewing inside of this area. It's like they want to mark price down lower, all right? So let's go into the higher time frames to make sense of this madness. So what have we got? 4 hour time frame. Let's get rid of all our drawings. Happy days. What do we see? We've got vector candles right here, guys. And if Bitcoin is going to feel the pressure from Tesla tonight in the Asian session, Bitcoin in principle should be coming down. All right? If the S&P doesn't react to Tesla's earnings, which is not looking good, given how many times he's decreased the price of the Tesla, it's like he's getting really desperate right now. Okay? But he's not so long ago picked up a big order for some batteries to be created in, I think it's in Taiwan. A Taiwanese family has made a killing off an order off Tesla. We'll talk about that another time. But this is what I'm talking about, guys. They've broken down the 50 EMA. They haven't made their way back into that 4 hour 50 EMA cloud. The direction is lower. We've got to wait until the futures markets open, which is in the next 45 minutes. And we're going to get a reaction. That's when you're going to start seeing Bitcoin making a move, okay? To topple that off, ladies and gentlemen, you've got the earnings calendar. So Tesla's released its earnings today, okay? And IBM should be doing the same thing, but tomorrow is a very big day in the markets, all right? So we're going to be getting American Express. We've got some more banks declaring earnings. You can see $122 billion worth of a market cap right there. And then you've also got Blackstone declaring earnings tomorrow. Now, given that Blackstone, BlackRock, you know, they're in bed together kind of thing, it's going to be looking fair to say that they're going to probably be okay. But what I want to draw your attention to is tomorrow's unemployment claims. That's going to be another market mover. We're going to have Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, and if they suggest that the economy is really starting to slow down, then that's going to obviously take its course. Now, I believe they've actually started to talk about this debt ceiling being raised. I think it's $1.5 trillion. They're trying to raise it, all right? And they've got till summer, in essence, to try and work things out, all right? So Yellen tomorrow, she's going to be talking about this. The market's going to react. That's why the markets these days hasn't been really nice. If you manage to catch the drops, happy days. But it's like, look, they keep on coming back into these vector candles. The only next zone that I would expect Bitcoin to go and visit is this vector candle zone right here. Now we go into smaller timeframes to understand what we need to see before or if that can happen. Go to the 5-minute time frame. Look at what Bitcoin's doing right here, okay? You've got compression on the moving averages. 50 EMA's tight, 13 and 5 EMA tight right there. You've got the 200 EMA coming closer and closer to price. It's getting very, very tight right now. Now, a lot of people are holding on to the idea that, you know, Bitcoin is just going to keep on moving up because people are still interested in Bitcoin and they want to invest in it. Okay, cool. So why is Bitcoin not moving up? All right, we want that $2 trillion market cap to come into play. Where are the guys buying it? All right, we need to see it buying up. So like, look, these guys ain't selling up. You know, what's going on here? Why are people selling Bitcoin? Isn't it about buying Bitcoin? Now, what I'm trying to get you to get in your minds is, as long as we're in a data-driven environment, this is what's going to happen. Bitcoin's going to go down, S&P is going to go down, NASDAQ's going to go up, Bitcoin's going to go up, okay? And you've got to really just be sharp with whatever information's coming out. So like tomorrow, we've got the news announcements for the unemployment claims. That's going to move the markets. So then we go into even more closer timeframes to make this assumption that if the unemployment claims data does come in and shows more people are unemployed, that's good news for the Fed, but it's going to be slowing down the economy because if people can't go out and work and they can't service their credit agreements, that means things ain't going to be looking too good. This is why we're talking about this housing crisis that could actually happen. 3.3% decline in the average house price. That's the most since 2012. It's not good. All right? Looking at Bitcoin right now, you can see that we're still hugging this 50 EMA. So we are now back to what we spoke about earlier on today on the smaller timeframes. Look at this. As long as Bitcoin stays beyond this cloud, okay, and stays in the lower band, Bitcoin's going lower. Let's make sense of what's going on down there. Check this out. Let me just, oh, come on. Wait there. Let me bring this bad boy up for you. Please, please, don't do this to me. Oh, my days. It's not, oh, man. Oh, man, I can't even bring it up. Man, forget it. I don't need it. I can look to the vectors. Here we go. Right. Down here, most likely, we have got, I'd say in regions of around $2-3 billion worth of long liquidations. I only know that because I updated the patrons earlier on today and we looked at this area, all right? There are liquidation points inside this zone. Vector candles tell you that there's liquidations there because that's where people are buying and selling. That's the truth, okay? Now you can see Bitcoin starting to roll over, ladies and gentlemen. Another tap at that 29 zone could be on the cards. So we just need to be careful of Bitcoin. And as long as they stay beyond that 5 EMA, the 5-minute cloud right here, not that one, 15-minute time frame. Yep. Is it 15-minute time frame? Come on. Yes, it is. There we go. As long as it stays beyond this, momentum's going to pick up to the downside. Any spikes up, this is what you got to be careful of. If you see a green vector candle come up in this area here, it has to clean this whole cloud, all right? That's how you know they're going to start reversing back up to hit the vector candle recovery point, which is where price would, in principle, start to move down again if that's the same area of where they want to get shorts built and start selling off, all right? So as long as Bitcoin can get above this 50 EMA cloud on the 5-minute time frame, short 15-minute time frame, short-term move would suggest Bitcoin will come back up into this zone to recover the vector, okay? But we're waiting for the futures markets to open in 45 minutes time to see the impact of Tesla, all right? Let's go into other assets across the board. Euro, treacherous day, okay? Completely treacherous day with Euro. Stop hunt low, stop hunt rise, shifting out, holding again above that psychological low, okay? We're waiting for tomorrow's news announcements for the dollar, which leads me over to the dollar dominance itself. Look at this bad boy. Sideways. When dollars trading sideways are not going lower, it's accumulation. Net dollar longs are probably being picked up. But if unemployment or the data that comes out tomorrow gives people the impression that things are okay, then Dixie will come back down and test this zone. That's good news for Bitcoin. All right? But the last time they moved away from this area was all the way over here. And they didn't recover that vector for a long time. They shifted out continuously. So you've got to be watching dollar dominance. Keep an eye on dollar dominance all times, because that's going to dictate to you where everything's going to end up. All right? Because if investors are putting their money into dollar, it means they're not picking up stock. They want the safety of cash. All right? Now, let's go into some altcoins in a second. I just want to go to dollar yen. Still trading upwards right there. Look at that. Nice little projection right there. 135, tapped it and reversed back. Getting ready to see them come back up into this vector candle region right here. Let's have a look at some altcoins right now. BNB takes a dump to the downside. Vector candle recovery zone. We've got one more zone right here on BNB that we need to be careful of, which is the $321 mark. Expect a reversal to happen if it does get towards that 318 point. But how sharp the reversal point is going to be a different story, all right? Because we are at the range weekly low, and that's usually where most support is. If you look left, you can see that that's where the last pattern structure was. W formation, rise up, retrace, continuation, back up, happy days. And now we are where we see the structure coming in. M formation, drop level 1, drop level 2, retrace, drop level 3, peak formation coming down. It's going to work. It's going to hit that 321. It's on its way to hit that. Come on, hit 321 on its way. Get to that vector. Come on, don't mess about, BNB. We'll get back to BNB in a second. Solana, 8% drop on the wick. We expect them to recover the wicks, okay? That's usually what's going to happen. Stopping volume candle right there tells me what? That's where loads of traders went short, okay? They got shaken out. They've been told to go long. Now their liquidation points are going to start coming in again. Look at the range weekly low where they got the support from. Price naturally is going to gravitate towards that zone, okay? BNB's going for it. Here we go. 321. Happy days. Tap it. Come on. I think we're going to have some movement tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have some movement tonight. Bitcoin on its way. Happy days. There we go. On its way. Bookmap, where you at? Here we go. Look at that. Shit. I didn't even see that happening, man. Why didn't any of you tell me, man? What's going on? You're just chatting. Oh, that's why. Yeah, because I'm not even looking. There's that 29 zone yet again. Now we got the orders coming in. Here we go. Thank you very much, Bitcoin, to bring some flavor in the New York live streams. Not the New York live streams, but the streams in the evening, the New York close. So it looks like Tesla has caused a bit of a problem for Bitcoin, okay? Euro, not doing anything. That's why you don't really want to trade forex at this time. Bitcoin still going down. Look how they spike down lower and come back into it. As long as they stay beyond that 15-minute time frame cloud right there, then we are favoring lower prices. Just be very cautious because they've just triggered some shorts right now. And we've got the green vector candle snap. Okay, so they've worked their way into that zone. Okay, cool. Now it's starting to work its way. Gold, what are you doing? Gold is holding out. No good. Tesla's, it's still going down. Tesla's still moving lower, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's still, let's see that blue line up and down very shortly. I need to be looking closer into dollar dominance. That's not even open right now. S&P, not even open. Let's go back up and have a look at BNB again. Is it doing it? BNB spiked down. Look at that, man. Narrowly missing these marginal calls, man. All right, then what else we got? MATIC. Is it MATIC going? Look, they're breaking. We got a MATIC price projection of $1.02. That's what we'd be expecting because that's the last point of interest that they moved away from. All right, so just keep an eye on these zones. Just look. This area here moved away from that zone. Then you've got this area right here moved away from that zone. You're looking, you really need to come to the charts when you see fast moves happening. Don't even trade this BS right here. You see it? Look, it's choppy price action. It's stuck in a range. You want to come to the charts when you see these aggressive moves down. When you see an aggressive move down or an aggressive move up, that's when you start focusing on the charts because you know that there's been volatility. There's been deviations away from a moving average. What do we mean by deviations? Well, here's an example right here. You see that? Deviations of moving averages. They're coming away from the average of price. That's where the average of price was with MATIC right here. There was the average. They moved away from it. Volatility's come in. Let's bring it back into the business. Yippee-ki-yay, back down again. Okay? Now, give me some other assets. Here we go. Ethereum. Spiking lower. Liquidity grab. Ethereum's taking that vector candle. I'd expect Ethereum to come and tap that again, that 1922. This would be the ultimate support zone for Ethereum. This area right here in line with the weekly low. That would be an ultimate area of support for Ethereum. If they take that and flush out, then we're going down and we're going to start coming back into these vector zones around 1800. That will be a sweet spot for Ethereum, in my honest opinion. Let me just go back into Bitcoin a second. All right, then. So they sharply dropped to only sharply come back up. They've hit an imbalance in the book, trading away from the VWAP itself. Zoom out a little bit more. Have we got any liquidity? Oh, my days. Here we go. All right, then. So if I zoom out like that, are we going to have any? Wow, 28,400, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the liquidity down below, all right? They are packing the book down below. 28,700, we've got 795 Bitcoin orders. Then below that, we've got 295, 418, 416, 791 Bitcoin orders, all between the area of 28,500, 28,700. That will be very interesting if they do not take that, because there are liquidations down here, guys. There's a lot of liquidity, and that commitment's coming in solid in this area. Naturally, what the look, limit sells, they're marking price up. What are they saying to me? No, that's all good for me. Right. Go back into Bitcoin a second. 4% back up. Look at that snap. So here's an example of V-shape. Look at that. Now watch this. Two things can happen, okay? If this move has precedence, Bitcoin will start moving back up again, okay? If it has precedence. If it can't succeed above this 200 EMA right here, okay, then Bitcoin's coming straight back down. It's just a stop hunt low, stop hunt rise, eat the liquidity, go for the grab, and then bring things back into action. They will feel that. They'll eat that liquidity. You want to see them take 50% of it at least. That's what you're looking for before you start paying attention as to whether or not it's going to continue lower, all right? Anything above this area here, if they retrace, happy days. We could see it continue back up. But if it can't even hold this area, it's going all the way down to mark down even lower. This is where the market just spikes lower, hits orders, comes back. So it's like a little bit of a scam wick, for the better word, okay? Keep an eye out on that, guys. And just let me know in the chat if I'm not paying attention to Bitcoin. Feel the wick. It's going to do it, man. That's a big sell-off right there. Big spike. I'm not liking that. Doge. Same thing across the board. Wicky City. Look at that. Got that wick down there that we just got to keep an eye out, guys. Got to keep an eye. If you're in trades on Dogecoin, man, just make sure you're taking some money off the table, man. What are you guys saying? Smith, short the Tesla stock. Trades are out. I know we are crashing this morning due to the lunar eclipse, but I'm not sure if we will dump more during the lunar eclipse. I mean, look, man, it's lunar eclipse, maybe. Well, I don't know. Like, who follows the moon cycle? Moonboy Mike, where are you, bro? Where's Mike? I need that moon talk, you know? Anyway, let's keep an eye out on this. Here we go. Bitcoin's starting to work its way. It's starting to do it. I think we're going to bring it back to the old school days. You remember? Asian session. Respect the Kong. You know? Back in the day, man. Back in the day. Here we go. We've got a big order coming in. 1,057 Bitcoin orders right now. I want to see him recover the wick. That's what I'm looking for. Because that was just a spike. They need to come down. Look at this algorithmic play right here. Look at that. Whilst Bitcoin's doing that, check this out. This bad boy's heading to Earth. Look at this. 600-pound spacecraft expected to re-enter on Wednesday. Okay? E.T. Like, come on. This thing's going to hit Earth. So just make sure you look up, ladies and gentlemen, because this bad boy looks like it's on this. So this is what I was talking about. 1,247 or a 1 in 1,247 chance of that hitting you. Those are good odds, man. Come on. Those are really good odds. I would just love to just see it just drop somewhere. Someone will have a camera and it will be shown. And if it ends up in a field, then that's just dog. I won't be interested in that. But yeah, just keep an eye out, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a shooting star. It's a falling satellite. Dead satellite is called. Dead satellite. Kiss my... Anyways, Bitcoin now working its way down. Full recovery of that wick near enough. Here we go. Going back down again. Commitments there. Commitments there. They're going to do it. They're going to recover. Here we go. We're going into that. Look, 50%. We've broken it. Look. There you go. That's suggesting what? Continuation. Tesla's put pressure on the market. And this is what the problem is, man. This is what Bitcoin needs to stop. If Tesla does its earnings, so what? Why is it just going down? Like, why? What reason do we have? They're going the money liquidity run, man. That's what they're doing. Full recovery of the vector. Now we're going to wait and see if it can actually hold. Because if it flushes this area here, Bitcoin's moving down even more. So now everyone's going short on this move right now. So let's go back into the Bookmap. Have a look at that. It's getting tricky. Here we go. Okay. All right. So look. Drop, retrace back up. Yep. Order that was triggered right there. Dropped it. Come back in. Same orders come in. Okay. So this is where people are selling from. Bang. See you later. Done. Finished. That should lead the market down lower. They just picked up those orders. We should see this liquidity here. 28,400 would be a dream for this move before we see a retrace, because that's where the liquidity is. Okay? If they can hold out in this area, happy days. But I'm looking for movement, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care about price. I care about what price does at a specific point. Value to me is not there with Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin should be a certain point. But I'm always going to prepare myself for the worst and expect the best. That's why when you say, if Bitcoin works towards this zone, I'm going to be in a preparation to trade it, take advantage of it, sell up some Bitcoin, buy up some Bitcoin. You're preparing yourself for certain movements in the chart. That's what you've got to do. Come away from the idea of price if you're a day trader. Just pay attention to the idea of what it does around price. Okay? Don't be fixated on price. Bitcoin can't be above 29. It's impossible. It must be beyond. That's bullshit, in my opinion. Anyways, going into this. So we've got quite some tricky behavior right now. Let's just go back into BNB. Has it done it? It's come back down again, full recovery. They need to hold this point, because this is going to be, if it can hold it, then it will be a vector candle continuation, but it's on the smaller time frames, and it looks like there's a lot of pressure to mark price down lower because they're going for the liquidity. Look at this. They're going for it. There's the green vector zone right there, and it hasn't been taken just yet. No, it's not been taken, not even tapped. It's not taken that green vector. That's BNB's last point of support, ladies and gentlemen. Last point of support. Is Ethereum doing it? Ethereum's going for it. There's that area. Come on. Range weekly low. That's where we would expect the reversal from. But if it does pick up steam, guys, then it might just keep on going lower, man. It might keep just doing that. Bitcoin's down 5%. Shit, man. That is not nice. No vector just yet on the 1 hour, 30-minute time frame, breaking into that wick right there. No one vector, no recovery. That's a cause for concern for me. 15-minute time frame still breaking down. Am I getting that liquidity coming back down again? Are they adding to it? They're taking that liquidity, man. They're going for it. 28.97, 880 Bitcoin orders at 28,480. This is where it gets interesting. Still below that 50 EMA cloud on the 15-minute time frame, so your bias is lower. But you remember, you've got to see it like this. 15-minute time frame, okay? So you've got to be projecting out over what? Several hours if you want to see a decent move, or the 1 hour time frame, 4 hour. If you're trading on the 5-minute time frame, your window for trades should be closed, if at a profit or not, within a 2-hour window. Okay? If you've taken a trade and you've not realized return or profit within 2 hours, you kill the trade, because then you're chasing. All right? Reset. Start again. Have a look at the market from a different perspective. That's all we do. As a scalper, that's my goal. If I make the amount of money that I want to make from a move, or I see the move and it's within those 2 hours, if it happens in 5 minutes, I don't need to worry about that. I can close it, start working on the next position, start working on the next trade. Every time you take a trade as a day trader, your goal is to get out as soon as you can once a profit is realized. Now, just be realistic with it. I'm not talking if you make $10 and you get out and then you see the move go in your favor and you could have made 1,000, okay? Be realistic with your expectation of return because, quite frankly, you never knew it was going to be that case because you're dealing with uncertainty, and that's the problem with the marketplace. We can assume, yes, Bitcoin's going to go lower and take out, the 28,400 zone is what we would want Bitcoin to take. That's what we're looking for Bitcoin to do, okay? We want that zone. All right, cool. Bookmap, what you saying to me? Well, we got liquidity down there. Look at it. Look what's going on. They're stacking up down at the lows. Where's the interest up here? Yeah? They're stacked down here. That's where the commitment is. 961 Bitcoin orders at 28,500. That would be the next logical point for Bitcoin to go. That's all you need to be considering. We take into consideration the moving averages. Price is below the 50 EMA, okay? Now, some of you would say, well, why are you going short at support? How do we know this is support? How do we know it's support? What, because it hit Fibonacci or it hit a vector zone? It's hit a Ichimoku? It's hit stochastics, RSIs? You don't know. That's the thing about the marketplace. So now we're just going in. Like, look, your management of your trade works like this. You take a trade, happy days. Now it's time to be focusing on why you should be closing it. Are you being given a reason to close it? Cool, keep it open. That's all you need to be thinking about. Now, of course, if price then does decide to go shift out to the upside, yeah, you're going to be in a bit of a pickle, all right? Remember what we said. As long as price stays within this zone, that's how you set your stops, all right? So think of it like this. If you were to run a short from this zone, hypothetically, not financial advice, but hypothetically, in an imaginary zone or in an ideal world, in an AI world, if you were to run a short from this zone, where would your exit be? Where would you say, you know what, I'm messed up, I'm wrong, okay? Two things to consider. Time frame. 15-minute time frame, so you're going to have to put a little bit of a wider stop so that you can absorb deviations to and from the moving average. Like, look, you can see it's snapping, coming back up again, okay? So assume the following. If price is trending lower on the moving averages and they can't make it within this cloud, that would then tell me that Bitcoin, no matter what it does, it's going to be trading beyond this thing here. Say, okay, so it's going to be doing this flavor, all right? Now, when we zoom out and look at where we are, looks like we're coming away from this zone. So then we zoom out again, and we've just broken a key area of support. So looks like they're trying to find it. I'm trading towards the next vector, which is this green vector candle right here. Okay? Now, where would you say you were wrong? All right. So if you're on the 15-minute time frame, where would your exit be? Well, how much leverage are you going to use? Because you're not going to get that much flexibility. Now, if you're bold enough and then say, you know what, yeah, Bitcoin's going to go down anyway, so I'm going to end up placing myself a stop loss all the way up here, you've got yourself a bit of a tricky situation. Why? Because if Bitcoin were to come back up, you'd first need to see it get back into this clouded area right here. So this could be one area for you to manage your expectations. So then you say, I'm going to put a stop above this zone right here. All right. I'm happy to lose at this point because if I do see price coming back up into this area and there's resistance, that could be an area that I could get back in again and try and take advantage of price coming back down again. Okay. What if it's even higher? What if Bitcoin goes high and you've got a bit more of a tolerance? Well, then you say, I'm going to put a stop loss all the way up here at the psychological high or the psychological low. Well, what happens there? Well, you got to think of it like this. Take the 50% of this vector candle range. Okay, take 50% of it, all of this range. Take a 50% of that region. You can see that that's where price is right there. The principle says that if price can come back up into this zone and you're in the short, if it comes back up into this zone, it would have passed the criteria of the 50 EMA cloud because it would have come back into this zone that they found resistance at, okay? Cool. So now you're in a short and you're trying to work out if you should close it at this point or change direction. When it tries to come back up into this zone, a retrace back down will tell you if the move up is going to be sustained or it's been set up to come back down again. So if price gets inside of this area here, that's where you monitor and say, you know what? I'm happy to close my short at this point because I believe if they can hold this zone here, we're going to get ready to try and work our way up. Why? Because there'll be vector candles for them to come back into, which are right here. So the ideal way of trading the hybrid is to find a point in the chart and trade towards it, all right? So as long as Bitcoin holds this zone, then we will trade towards the next vectors, okay? If we believe that the next vector that they're going to move towards is down here, then we trade towards those zones. Now, the start of a new 15-minute or a new 1 hour candle comes in 20 minutes, okay? I want to stay on the live until that point because that's when the futures markets open. That's when we're going to see a reaction from the S&P markets and the NASDAQ, all right? Because they're closed right now. So we're going to make sense of that. As long as this hour candle maintains its stance, then we're favoring lower prices. But I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you can see what I'm saying. When you take a short or whenever you take a long, if you don't know how much money you're going to lose, you're going to lose a ton of it. You have to know how much you can lose because a gambler will tell you how much he can win. A trader will tell you how much he can lose. All right? Because he doesn't know how much you can win. You could run a short from here and Bitcoin drops down to 10,000. Did you know that? No. But it could just pick up steam and just go and go and go and drop. Bitcoin could come down to the 800 EMA. Did you know that from this point? No, because that's the game of speculation. No one knows. No one will ever know what the next move is because it only takes one candle to start a move. Look at this. One candle. And it led to all of this. So by that logic, can we assume that that's going to be the case for Bitcoin? Could this be the one candle that starts it? That's what you got to take into consideration. You got to be so critical. You got to ask yourself why you wouldn't go long or why you wouldn't go short. Is momentum starting to pick up in Bitcoin right now to suggest lower prices? That's what we're looking at. All right? Let's go back into Bookmap for a second. See, now it's flat. 15 minutes. 1, 2, 3. I'd want a third hit. That's what I'm looking for. A third hit lower. 29K can't be held. It's going to roll over and eat this liquidity. But as long as they keep it there, that 28,500, 932 Bitcoin orders, and at 28,710, another 854 Bitcoin orders, 28,800, you got 571 Bitcoin orders. There's some flavor in this move, ladies and gentlemen. 21st is a full moon. Why am I looking at my watch? I'm not even wearing one. What a clown. Here we go. Here we go. So we're working. We're going. 15-minute candle starting in the next 3 minutes. It's working. Third hit lower. This could be a point that they could try and come back up. Look at these orders being placed and cancelled. You see that? Orders being placed and cancelled, starting to break down. 986 Bitcoin orders at 28,480. I'm looking for that zone. 28.4, just paying closer to... Oh, sorry, 907 Bitcoin orders, not 80. There's 862 at 28,680 right there. Bitcoin is... It's not looking good. Just in this current zone right now. It's not looking promising either. 15 more minutes until the vector candle finalizes. This is going to lead to a sharp move if they attack that 28 zone, 28,800. It's going to snap it if it does break it. The orders are coming in. 860 Bitcoin orders. Just do it, bruv. Just break down, man. Come on. Sorry, I'm focusing on this movement, man. I need to zoom in and have a look. Delta's picking up right now. So big orders, 283 Bitcoin orders picked up there. 128 there. This could be slowing down. No, I'm not going to pull up XO charts because it's nothing for me right now. Futures markets ain't open. 855 Bitcoin orders. Now it's 950 Bitcoin orders at the 28,520. That's suggesting to me liquidations are coming in. Look, these are big orders, man. These are big orders. And if they were to reverse from here, that would be the biggest BS on earth. Because there's nothing happening up here. Nothing. No one is selling. Looks like limit buys are taking over right now. Limit buys, 25%, 44% imbalance. They're rolling it. They're going to roll it. There we go. It's rolling. Here we go. There's the break. There it is. There's the flush right there, ladies and gentlemen. That attack on that liquidity. 887 Bitcoin orders right there. Again, 28,720, 1,300 Bitcoin. That's a big stack at 28,480. Big stack. Snap. Come back, roll over again. That's going to get eaten, man. 1,300 Bitcoin, 1,400 Bitcoin. Fucking hell. That is nuts. Look what's going on. Poor Bitcoin. Let's go and look elsewhere. What we got? Ethereum. She's made a move. There she is. She's doing all right, actually. Not bad. USDT, where you at? Vector candle recovery on USDT, ladies and gentlemen. We would assume that this move by Bitcoin is going to continue until it gets towards this point. That's what we would principally assume. Because the same guys that were buying up Bitcoin here, okay, are now selling it. That's the logic of the USDT chart, all right? So we're going to wait and see how that plays. I'm about to FOMO DCA manually. Look, man, listen, you've got to think of it like this. DCAing on the move down, you're behaving like a market maker. Happy days, all right? How long do you DCA for? You know, you've got to have at least a goal for your DCA. There has to be some profit taking at least. Take some money off the table so you've got more to DCA more at a different point. I don't like this. That 800 EMA could be coming into play. I'm waiting. New 15-minute candles come into play right now. Where are we at? 1,500 people in the live stream and only 400 of you are liking the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, bruv. It's not expensive to like the stream. I hate even asking for likes. It's so sad. I feel bad. But yeah, if you do like the flavor, ladies and gentlemen, and then we've got tomorrow. Oh my days, we've got tomorrow. New York live stream tomorrow will be fire, ladies and gentlemen. Will be good. Here we go. Look at that. Stop run back up again. Third hit to the low. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Reversal. Wait, look at the short. Look at these guys getting liquidated. Shorts are getting liquidated. You seeing it? Sequence. Bring it up. Make them go long. Okay? Liquidity being cancelled. They've taken some of it. Our 1,392 Bitcoin orders is still there. But we've got 15 more minutes until the futures market's open. So we're going to see a reaction from that. Here we go. Look at that. Still within that zone. Still within the 15-minute time frame. So again, if you were to run a short, you'd be saying to yourself, well, 2 hours ticking. Fair enough. It's not getting above that zone just yet. I don't need to react yet. Okay? Let's go to the 1 minute time frame for a second. Sequence of threes. Another vector. No vectors. That's good news. 15-second time frame. What have we got there? No vectors? No vectors? No. That's good. That's good news. Good news. That is good news that we've got no vectors, but we can't let them get above this area. Well, we don't want them to stay in this area if we're going to suggest higher prices, all right? We've had our free hits lower. So this is stop, run, drop, rise, drop, rise, drop, rise. We get that vector coming in, shift it back down again. But we've got 15 minutes until the start of a new 1 hour candle. So that's all good, but they're leaving a wick behind. That's a problem. Hopefully, if they can turn that into a green vector, then that will be good. Because then that would be this area here. You see that? That zone. That's what that would be. All right? So as long as it can stay like that, happy days. But if you're shorting, got to be very careful in this area. Keep an eye on that zone. Where we at? Look, I don't like it. Nothing's there. Look, they're going for stops. Look, liquidation points right there. No one's putting liquidity in. Even if you were to zoom in. Hard look. It's retail. Look. Look at these blue areas. Retail. Quickly rushing. Oh, close off my short. Shit. My short. I'm getting liquidated. Oh, quickly turn and go long. Down below, you got market makers saying, happy days. We're going to get these bad boys filled very soon. Okay? Such a treacherous game, man. Such a treacherous game. Come on. 10 more minutes. Where you at? So the old days, yeah. It's like the old days. Back in the day when we used to do the New York live streams and we used to do the Hong Kong sessions. Used to do these streams for 5-6 hours, man. From now until 2 o'clock in the morning UK time. Man. And that was me standing up, staring at these charts, doing all this, talking on price action, you know? Here we go. XRP, where's that at? 7% down. It's quite big. Vector candle wick right there. Hasn't recovered it. Still within the 15-minute time frame zone, so just be careful. Playing the longs. It's at a critical point. It has to get above the cloud for us to suggest longs. Because then they'll break the cloud, retrace back into it, continue up. Because then there would have been enough pressure here to mark price higher. But one good thing about it, because of the volume, of course, one good thing about it is XRP's volume is dropping on this move down. So that could be a good sign. But again, in the next 10 minutes, waiting for the futures markets to react to Tesla's downfall. So once that comes out, we'll know exactly where we stand. Where's Tesla's price? 73 now. There's a vector candle wick down here on Tesla. Right there. 166 is where I would expect it to go. That's where I expect it to go. But I want to see S&P open up. Oil breaking down. Very interesting. Come on, they need to fill that gap. Look, coming into that gap, ladies and gentlemen. They need to fill that gap. It's probably going to do it. Gold, not doing much. Let's go to USDCAD. Climbing back up again. Coming into some vector candle zone right there. Right in that top side. Happy days. That's what we'd expect. Right in that 5 and 50 EMA. Look at that. Holding at that point. This is what we're looking for Bitcoin to do in terms of shorts. Come back to the 50, bounce away from it. Favoring longs, come back to the 50, bounce away from it. That's what we're looking for, okay? Let's have a look at JASMY for a second, so I spoke about that. Structure so far so good to roll over on JASMY. Luna C, yeah, forget that. Solana still holding out. It looks like a decent set, but they have been trading lower most of the day, guys. Now BNB's coming back up. Okay, stopping volume candle. That's good news. Let's go back into Bookmap. All right, Bitcoin's starting to roll. No orders are coming in. Look, this is retail. There's no big commitment, so the market's naturally going to float up towards these areas to find areas of interest, to trigger people, all right? So people have gone long now, okay? Look at these liquidations. They're going to start activating them to start marking lower. Is that going to be the case? Let's go back into Bitcoin a second. Pulling back, 1 minute time frame. Let's have a look. Waiting until, let's see if that's going to be the case. Let's have a look. So all these guys have been liquidated, yeah? They've all been liquidated. Shorts got liquidated. Done. Retail money here is blue. These orders are stacking up. 1,400 Bitcoin at 28,480. Then at 850 Bitcoin at 28,680. So a lot of Bitcoin orders in here. As long as these orders stay static, we're naturally going to expect them to go. When I say static, it means as long as they are still in the order book and not being cancelled. What would a cancelled order look like? A cancelled order would look like this. Let me try and find it. Here you go. You see this order here? Move my head. That order there was originally in the order book on the right side, okay? It got cancelled, removed. So the logic says that at that point right there, we would expect sellers to be triggered in that zone. Or limit buys, sorry. Bids will be hit at this point. So they'll mark it down, okay? When price is going down, the bids are being hit. When price is going up, the ask is being lifted. Selling at a higher point. Bidding at a lower point. Buying up, okay? Because the only person that's buying on the way down is the market maker. Retail and buying as it's dropping. Maybe DCA guys, but there's not enough DCA guys to do that, okay? Just had a cancellation. Lots of blue orders here. That's retail. That is retail right there. Bitcoin's holding out at this high zone. This looks like a stop run. They're going to start triggering the liquidation points at this point right here. Going to start triggering the liquidations, I think. That could be a promise. Let's see if that's going to be the case. Again, still within that 15-minute candle zone. Is this just a stop run? Because they're in the flavor for it. Let's see if they do decide to roll. 29,100, building the shorts above key notable areas. See, this is what goes through your mind when you're trading. You're having to regurgitate information. You have to redo information in your mind. You're getting continuously new information when you're at the chart. What you were thinking about down here is not the same as what was going on right now, okay? So this is what I do anyway. I'm sitting talking to myself all bloody day. That's, you know, that's why I have no one around me, because I think I'm talking to them. You know, you can't speak to me. I'm there just talking away, talking shit nonstop about these mad charts every single day. 1,351 Bitcoin at 28,480. So they've taken 50 Bitcoin orders off. 658 Bitcoin orders at 28,400. Who's got a note for Twitter? What are they saying? Here we go. Bath & Beyond preparing for bankruptcy filing. Not bad. Yeah, we kind of knew that was going to be the case. So Bitcoin stalled right now. The liquidation points have come into play right now. Are you guys enjoying this? I'm just waiting for the next 6 minutes. The futures markets are going to open. That's going to dictate if the S&P futures are going to gap down. This S&P's been a pain in the ass these days, man. Come on, here we go. Tesla vehicle orders are in excess of production. That's not good. Supply. Here we go. Volatility index. Oh, man, it's at a point, man. Keep an eye on this bad boy here because it's going to switch. And when that starts moving up, everything starts going down. We have got 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, man. I'm losing my brain, ladies and gentlemen. There's too much streaming, man. Too much streaming. Football USDT. Daily close below the 29,100. Look out below. Nice. 8 minutes to proof that this isn't just a vector recovery play. That is correct. Tino, have you ever thought about podcasts? Yes, I have. And you know what? Mr. Dutch has tried to get me into podcasts. Just sitting down and talking. I speak to Mike every day and we have some beefy conversations. And they go on for hours. We're talking about stuff like the economy, the banking sector. What the fuck's going on here? How's that even possible? Don't think to record it. Well, I guess it would be a good little podcast to talk about. Don't get it twisted. But I don't know, man. It feels like it's forced. The podcast would feel forced for me. It's one of those where you just have to catch me and I start talking and running my mouth. Anyways, I'm doing that right now. So, 4 more minutes, sorry, till we see the proof of this move. Okay? Futures will come in. People have got their orders now setting up. So we're going to see if this move as a stop run back up, which traders have just been triggered to go short on, they've just shifted out. But you have a criteria because these are 100x traders here. Okay? The criteria is as long as it's below this 50 EMA cloud, the bias is to the downside. The momentum's picking up to go lower. That's what we're looking for. If it gets up into the top band of the cloud, there's a change of sentiment, okay? You're looking for vector candles to appear, green ones to appear inside of this zone. That's what you're looking for. And that's on the 50-minute time frame. You'll start to see that on the 5-minute time frame. Do you see any green or blue vectors appearing here? No. So they're spiking lower. Can't get above that 50 EMA on the 5-minute time frame. Deviation away from the 50, back into it again. Okay? So we're starting to make sense of this madness. All right? Let's see if they do decide to roll with it. Let's see. So now it's starting to topple over. I'm not seeing the commitment coming in. I'd ideally want to see these orders here come here to suggest they're going up. We're not seeing it. Cool. So we're reacting. What we're seeing is what we see. All right? We don't know what's going to happen next, but we're seeing what we see. So trade what you see. Okay? If it doesn't continue in your favor, react. Get rid of it. Start again. All right? Come on. How many of you actually think it's actually going to play out like that? How many of you believe that Bitcoin still got the capacity to go down lower? How many of you believe that this area, 1,431 Bitcoin orders, so they've just added another 80 orders in the last few moments because it was at 1,350. Now it's at 1,431. And this liquidity is picking up. It's getting thicker and thicker. We've got the red order. That's a big order there. It needs to stay there for me to even sway to the idea it's going to go there. All right? Here we go. Retail coming in. Order taken. There's that blue order taken. If we zoom in on this, we're going to get the truth of it. Here's a zoom in. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. Okay? So that down here, so we got 861 Bitcoin orders at 28,710, okay? Volume's coming in, so selling at highest point, volume is high, all right? So we've got bigger players playing this range right now, okay? If the volume's not at 53%, or say it's like 4%, it's not much. But at 58%, there's bigger players coming in. So we know market makers doing his due diligence here. Is he marking up the shorts? That's the question. It's all around that 29 zone. Okay? We need to see it break. I mean, this is the VWAP, right? Whoa, see that order there? Bit of an absorption right there. But look what's going on down here. 793 Bitcoin orders now at 28,710. That red area right there is quite static. It's quite big. So we'd assume they're going to try and hit that zone. 1 minute. Here we go. Futures markets are going to roll. This is where we will see the reaction. Futures markets are going to open very shortly. Let's see if they pull the flavor. Come on. Make the move. They're adding to that order 800 Bitcoin now. There we go. 28,710. Come on. Make them do it, man. Make them do it. Let's have a look. Come on. S&P. It's going to be opening very shortly. 1 more minute. 50 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see where this bad boy is going to end up. Because it's not looking good for Tesla. Not looking good at all down there. Let's see where this ends up. S&P might not gap down that aggressively. It all depends. Oh, God. Yeah, that's the Fed. Come on. Are we going to do that? It's got some movement up right now. Going to wait and see if it's going to do it. Here we go. Should be open now. Come on. 15 seconds. New 1 hour candle. 11 o'clock. Bitcoin moving up. Yep. Coming up to that cloud. I want to see the futures markets. Let's see if they do it. Let's see if they do actually gap down or gap up, whatever it is. Here we go. Gap down. Okay. So there it is. Let's see how they react right now. This could dictate if Bitcoin's going to hold out. Okay. Let's see if they do decide to do it. 1 minute time frame. Dude, it's not that much of a big gap down, to be honest with you, but now they're getting wind of Tesla's situation. Okay, so this could start breaking down, going into these vector candle zones right here, which would then suggest to me Bitcoin is probably going to start. Here we go. Look at that. Stop, run, back up. Zoom out. 200 EMA, vector candle. Are they adding 1,400 Bitcoin, 28,480? Come on. Are they going to attack that zone again? What's going on here? Here we go. Tap that 200 EMA. So that seems to be an area where they keep reversing from. So we've got to keep an eye out. This area right here. That zone and this zone here. Violet vector, that's good news. Because then they can recover back up. But it's about how far it goes back into it. Everything seems to be going. BNB's turning. Solana, that's turning. Is Ethereum going to turn? Holding out. Euro, gapped up. USDCAD, shooting up. That's not good. US dollar yen, sharp move by dollar yen right there. That's not good. It's going to fill that gap. It's going to fill that wick. Okay, gold, I'm not doing it yet. NASDAQ, it's trading lower. It's going to pick up. S&P again, it's trading down. It's just a matter of time. Is Bitcoin coming back down? There we go. Found resistance at that 200. Need to make sense of this. Here we go. So now they're adding more liquidity here. 28,680. We've got 801 Bitcoin orders. 1397 Bitcoin orders in this area right here. Just going to expand out. Volumes dried up. Volumes dried up right now. You see that up there? Limit buys are coming into play. Here we go. He's gonna shit it. He's gonna shit the bed. We're looking for price to, in essence, continue with the narrative lower. That's what we're looking for. Have we got a reason to buy? We haven't broken this cloud yet. That's the criteria. So we're only favoring lower prices. That's the distinction you make. You've got no reason to buy. Now, I'm talking for a trade. If you're using too much leverage, you're going to get shaken out. You can see what they've done. Stop hunt low, rise, back up. Okay? We haven't seen them break the cloud. We want to see them break this cloud. Okay? Break it down on the 5-minute time frame. Are they going to try and do it yet? Where are we at with that zone? Not in that cloud just yet. If we see this, you see that area? If that vector comes in here, but closes above it, that's good news. Because momentum's changing. We haven't seen it yet. But Bitcoin ain't even moving just yet. Okay? So we're going to wait and see. Waiting and seeing. In another life, Tino is a degenerate gambler betting his benefits on 3-legged horses down the Ladbrokes. I like that one. I like that. All right, then. Listen. No, don't just blindly go long yet, guys. Do not blindly go long yet. You haven't seen the move just yet. We want to see vectors coming into this. We want to see a break higher, okay? Get above the cloud. That's what we want. What conviction of the cloud. Ideally, on the 15-minute time frame is what you're looking for because the momentum is still favoring lower prices. You could get this flavor right here. Rise, drop, rise, drop, rise, drop, rise, drop. That's what we're looking for, okay? Go down, S&P. We still got the move. S&P's gapping down. I've got these vector wicks down here. That's what I'm concerned about with S&P. Down there, that's what we're looking at, okay? Can you look at XRP again? Let's have a look, and I'm going to make it the last one and let you guys be. Okay, so XRP is coming back up now. Coming into the cloud, that's good, okay? We want to see, got a red vector candle zone right there. We don't want it to drop off at this point. You don't want it to reverse from here. You want it to break through that point, okay? You want it to break through. This retrace has to get above the cloud to suggest longs, because then you'll be going into the vector recovery. That's what we said earlier on, okay? Oh, my days. Where's the OnlyFans? They're not there yet, mate. No OnlyFans. Not just yet. Not just yet. All right, and listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to love you and leave you, okay? Take what you can from this, all right? You're going to be always changing your decisions because price is going to be moving up and it's going to be moving down. You can't control that. Manage your risk correctly, okay? You get stopped out, cool. Let's go into another trade till you're catching the right direction. Keep an eye on that cloud. Little move up, cool. Get above it, different story, because we're going to trade into the vectors because that's where the liquidity is. Till it gets in that zone, don't consider longs, okay? Once it starts breaking above that 50 EMA on the 15-minute time frame, happy days. Consider the longs because they would have come away from the manipulative zone, all right? Mad love and respect, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it tonight. Take care of yourselves. Peace.